It has become clear Nathan Wade has no business being in that courtroom. It's Wednesday, March 13th, 2024. I'm Stuart Allister. From Fox News, Georgia judge teaches this vital lesson about legal system and Trump Biden. Here's the thing. When you're suffering from Trump derangement syndrome, you're going to do stuff that is just flat out stupid on every measure, just stupid. And once you see this, you're going to see it and you're going to be as outraged as me, because after a while, it's kind of like, well, what the hell, man? All right, before we get into that, why don't you wreck that like button? Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and press that notification bell so you never miss an episode. These people are I don't get it, man. A judge in Georgia has thrown out, at least for the time being, 6 of the 41 counts in the state RICO indictment that Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis filed against former President Donald Trump and 18 others. In his 9-page ruling, Judge Scott McAfee dismissed 6 charges, which alleged that Trump, Rudy Giuliani, Mark Meadows, and others solicited state officials to violate the terms of their oath of office. The ruling does not disturb the remaining 35 counts, including the RICO charges. Parenthetically, he writes that RICO refers to the state's Racketeering, Influenced, and Corrupt Organization Act, an analog of the federal RICO statute. In connection with the 6 charges at issue, the indictment alleges, in very general terms, that the defendants solicited Georgia legislators and or election officials, mainly the Secretary of State, to do the following: unlawfully appoint presidential electors, counts 2, 5, 6, and 23, unlawfully influence the certified election returns, count 28, and unlawfully decertify the election, counts 38. Imagine if someone were to come to you and tell you, you don't get to petition them. You can't ask the government to do anything for you. Imagine someone telling you, not only are they saying that you can't do that, we're going to arrest you if you do. Judge McAfee ruled that the indictment is defective on these charges because it does not specify what term of the oath of office the state officials in question were being asked to violate. The judge reasoned that the constitutions of Georgia and the United States, which state officials swear to uphold, contain numerous clauses that impose myriad of responsibilities on office holders. In the above described counts, McAfee concluded the indictment is insufficient because it does not spell out which of these responsibilities were implicated by the defendant's alleged solicitations. In my view, the solicitation counts are among the most pernicious in Willis's indictment. Americans have a constitutional right to petition government. As long as they are not doing so by bribery or extortion, they are allowed to ask legislatures and executive officials to use their powers in ways that would be uncontroversial and even potentially unlawful. To tell me that I can't ask someone to do something, to tell me that I don't get to question anything, and that's the bottom line. If you begin to question our elections, we're going to come after you. You don't get to question it. We're going to be going through election seasons if we're not careful. No. We're not going to just have an election day. We're going to have an election season where it will last for a month, before we get the final results. And once those results come in, if you even start to question us, we're gonna put you in jail. That's what they want to do. They're sending you a message. Number one, you better not help people like Donald Trump in any material way. And number two, if you do, we are going to use the law to put you away. Imagine you're not able to even address something that is like, hey, I think that was done wrong. Hey, put that guy in jail. This is like a third world. In point of fact, Georgia, like every state, has legal processes. That's what they were doing. That's why he hired attorneys. They were going through the processes that are already in place, by which the results of elections may be challenged. It is the right of Americans to make use of those laws. Obviously, if one commits crime in doing that, e.g., if a person bribes or extorts a public official or makes intentionally false statements in sworn testimony, it's appropriate to prosecute those crimes. But it is not a crime to ask the state officials to question election results. Who do you think Finally, the charges that McAfee dismissed are not necessarily out of the case. Judge McAfee said that prosecutors could refile or supersede the indictment, adding more specificity about exactly what duties of office were implicated, i.e., how the performance of those particular duties is reflected by the terms of the oath of office that the officials take. And he just made these general assertions. It's like he violated his oath of office. Really? Oh, okay. How? Wait, huh? You just said that he violated his oath of office. Oh, okay. How? No. They were soliciting, state officials to not even to certify. They wanted them to not certify. Right. Are you saying that they don't have a right to ask for that? What are you talking about? Now, this is what I want to get to. I need you to pay very close attention, because this is the reason that Nathan Wade has no business being in that courtroom.
Judge Scott McAfee has dismissed 6 counts in the election interference case in Georgia, including 3 involving former U.S. President Trump. Joining us now is former Director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe. And thankfully, you're a lawyer, and you've had a few minutes to digest this a little bit to help us understand, what does this mean?
Well, good to be with you, Dana. Yeah, I haven't really had a chance to look at it in detail, but this is akin to, in federal court, a motion for a more definite statement. It's called a special demurrer in the state of Georgia. But essentially what it is it's the various defendants saying, look, you've accused us of violating the law, specifically of violating our oath, but you haven't told us how our conduct matches up with something that we should be held criminally responsible for. And here the judge agreed. The judge said, you didn't provide enough specificity in how you pled this. And so he quashed them or dismissed these counts. It's not a dismissal of the entire case. I think, if anything, my first take is that really sort of lends itself to the argument that the special prosecutor Wade, in this case, is inexperienced in these types of cases and didn't plead it properly, and as a result, these counts are being dismissed. So it's a victory of sorts, certainly for former President Trump and all of the defendants that are affected by the ruling, but the case will continue in part.
The very fact that Fani Willis had the audacity to hire her boyfriend, pay him gobs of money, more than any other prosecutor in that office is getting, go on trips with him, thereby getting a benefit for hiring him in the first place. And then turns out he doesn't even know how to file a RICO pleading. And that's what he just told you. This just shows you he didn't plead it right. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Someone would have known, well, that doesn't violate anything. You didn't specify. You just said that they asked elected officials and the state's attorney general to do XYZ. Are you saying that Donald Trump and his associates are not allowed to ask them to, I don't know, do a recount? You don't get to ask them to do what their job is to do? That doesn't make any sense. This is why, although your boyfriend may be perfect for you, he may not be up to the task at hand. What you're watching is really the travesty of our justice system. You see, these yahoos like Fani Willis and Nathan Wade, they're allowed to do whatever they want in court. And there's really no one there to push back. It's just that in this case, there are experienced lawyers. Just take a look at all of the lawyers that were on Trump's side. Those are like dudes that have been around the block a few times. Some of those people, I can almost guarantee you, they designed that block. So I had to tell you, man, if you are a Trump supporter, my guess is they're going to start coming after you. Particularly if you have donated to him, if you attended a rally, because he's just going around inciting insurrections. Nathan Wade has no business being in the courtroom. She knows that. She also knows the people that put her in office, they will keep her in that office. And you know why. All right, that's it for now. Hey, if you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe. And if you're following me on Rumble, please press that follow button. And until the next time, God bless.